I came to Kokura Station looking for ramen, but I found something I wasn't expecting. This is Doro Ramen. And honestly, I had no idea if I was going to like it. So I decided to find out. Kokura Station is one of the busiest places in Kitakyushu. Every day, thousands of people pass through here. But just a few minutes away from the station, there are still small local restaurants that are easy to miss. And today, I was looking for one of them. I wasn't looking for a famous chain restaurant. I wanted something that felt a little more local, something I might not notice if I was just passing through Kokura. And after a short walk, I found it. From the outside, it looked like a simple local ramen shop. Doesn't look like the kind of place that would immediately attract tourists. But this shop has been part of the local ramen scene for generations. The shop traces its history back to 1946. But I had come here because of one particular bowl of ramen. And honestly, I had never seen ramen quite like this before. Inside, the atmosphere was simple. No huge decorations. No complicated experience. Just a small restaurant, a few seats, and the sound of ramen being prepared in the kitchen. This is exactly the kind of place I enjoy discovering in Japan. The preparation itself was surprisingly satisfying to watch. The noodles went into the pot. The soup was prepared, and slowly, the bowl began to come together. But I still wasn't sure what to expect. The name immediately made me curious. The soup has a much thicker and more unusual appearance than the typical ramen I usually eat. And honestly, I had no idea what to expect. And then it arrived.
こちらが10割味玉ラーメンですね。こちらがドロラーメン。はい。ドロラーメン上の白いのが背脂です。お好みで溶かして召し上がってください。わかりました。ありがとうございます。
This was definitely not the usual bowl of ramen the first expected. The soup looked thick, rich, and completely different from the ramen I normally eat. At this point, there was only one thing left to do. Try it. The first bite was, actually, not what I expected. The flavor was rich, but the most interesting part was the texture of the soup. It had a completely different feeling from the lighter ramen I usually eat.
Too creamy. I like this.
The soup was definitely the main character of this bowl. It was rich and full of flavor. The noodles had a nice texture, and the toppings added a good balance to the bowl. But the biggest question for me was simple. Would I order this again?
One of the creamiest ramen soup I have eaten in Japan. So creamy.
After finishing the entire bowl, I think the answer is yes. What I liked most was that this didn't feel like a typical tourist experience. It was just a small local ramen shop, a unique bowl of ramen, and a quiet afternoon around Kokura Station.
The tonkotsu broth, its creaminess, so good.
I came to Kokura Station looking for a bowl of ramen, but I ended up discovering something a little more interesting. Sometimes, the best places aren't the ones you plan to visit. They're the ones you simply happen to find. And this one was definitely worth finding. Would you try this ramen?